Alright guys, so I've been considering making a video like this for a while, and recently we got news that the director of Project Almanac, which I've never seen, I probably should, just to check it out, is in talks to direct the new Power Rangers reboot film. So, this video that I've been thinking about for a while, it's weird because it's just going to be really an amalgamation of me as a big Power Rangers fanboy, me as just a general fan of good action superhero-ish films, and me as a realistic person who kinda is trying to think as what the studio would actually do. So this video is just going to be talking about my idea for a trilogy of Mighty Morphin films that could maybe be similar to sort of what they're doing. It's just going to be a basic outline. I'm not going to really get into huge detail, but I already wasted a minute, so here we go. First things first, the tone of these films. I know a lot of people want one direction or the other in terms of how dark they want it to be. I know some people want it to practically be R, but frankly I think that's a bit ridiculous. This isn't an R movie would bomb, and I certainly don't even want it to be something along the lines of, say, Dark Knight. I think one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, probably, come to think of it, maybe the Thor films would be a good template for this. You take the material, the story you're doing seriously enough, and there is drama with the characters and whatnot, but you understand that it's a bit goofy, you don't take it too seriously, you have some comedy. I do want Bulk and Skull in the new movies, and I do want the Rangers to be somewhat lighthearted themselves. I guess let's just get into the first movie. The first movie I was thinking, one change I want to make that's sort of a deviation from the series is, in the original series, they're all friends to start with. Despite sort of being entrenched in their stereotypes, they're all very much friends to begin with. And I want to change that in this because I think it would work better for the point of an origin film if they were, not friends. Obviously I don't want it to be some sort of, go back a couple decades and have it be stereotypes that hate each other or just automatically dislike each other because they're in different cliques, but just have them some of them already not be on the same page. Like, you can have let's say Jason is already best friends with Zach, and they both know Kimberly because she's the popular girl. Have Trini be a bit more of the nerdy girl, and she's with Billy, who's the super nerd, of course. I want to introduce Tommy in the first film, have him be, say, another friend to Jason, who also knows karate. Don't have him be a ranger in the first film, save that for a sequel. As far as villains go, I'm thinking Goldar, actually. For the first film, I think the main villain should be Goldar. I just feel like for an origin film, someone like Goldar would work well enough, and then you bring in Zed for the next two. I don't really think they're going to use Rita, honestly. I think, you could change her. I think she's just too goofy, honestly, and I mean, you could change her to make her work in a more serious direction, but then you'd either have to change the whole Married to Zed thing, or just have her and not Zed, and I think I'd rather just have Zed. So I'm gonna have it that Goldar's the villain of the first film, and he's working for Zed, who's basically the main villain for the next two. Bulk and Skull subplot, I want them to do a somewhat adaptation of that one plot in Zeo. So the beginning of the film will have a couple comedic scenes with Bulk and Skull being bullies, and Bulk mentions offhand that he thinks classical music is really nerdy, and he's gonna have to listen to some of it in some performance at the school that's mandatory, and he's really pissed about that. And then we see an awkward expression from Skull, sort of foreshadowing something. And then in the end, again, like that episode in Zeo, it's revealed that Skull was actually he's the classical pianist and he's really good, and then Bulk changes his mind on it because Skull's his friend, and that's a nice little heartwarming thing you put in the end of the film. Of course, at the end of the film, you're gonna have your epic Megazord fight, and against Goldar, I'll have him get destroyed in this one. He doesn't need to live to the sequels. They can have other generals fill his spot. End of the movie. I don't know if you want to put this at the end itself or in one of those Marvel post, mid credit, whatever scenes. You bring in Lord Zed for his first appearance, make it all badass and the lights and how they did in Mutiny. And you introduce the concept of the Green Ranger coin, and then you cut. And then the sequel is Green with Evil. And it's just your basic Green with Evil plot. Tommy gets turned evil, starts fighting the Rangers, it's really bad, but in the end they save him. Have some sort of Bulk and Skull subplot, I guess. I definitely still want them in the movie, I just don't have a specific idea like the piano thing. Or maybe you could just do the piano one in the second one and just establish them in the first one. But again, so now I'm thinking you perhaps destroy the Megazord at the end of the second one, then he turns good, then we get an explanation on Serpentera, that there's a giant galactic weapon coming to just blow up the Earth. And third one we call Countdown to Destruction. And yeah, I know it's in space, it's not Mighty Morphin, but I feel like it would be a good way to incorporate some of those kind of elements. So if they don't decide to destroy it in the second one, going by this weird logic of mine, which I guess they probably wouldn't, they would want a Megazord fighting the Power Rangers movie, then you just destroy it in the beginning of the third. Have Scorpina or some stupid general destroy it or something like that. And then the movie is them fighting waves of foot soldiers, and then Tommy goes onto Serpentera because of blah 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 sci-fi explanation. He can do so because he was evil at one point. And then he tries fighting Lord Zed. Lord Zed cooks his butt and then destroys whatever was transporting him, so Jason has to do the whole Andros destroys Zordon's tube, and it creates a giant FU laser of death that just blows up Serpentera, and it'd be awesome. And then you get nice little have a statue to Tommy, nice little ending scenes repairing the city. Oh yeah, and of course you do the Bulk and Skull's Countdown to Destruction, get in there scene. Gotta have that. And I don't know, why not have some guy, just to mention, have some teenage guy, and he has a younger brother, and the older guy calls his younger brother Leo. If you don't want to do anything with it, it's just a small little nice nod to the fans who grew up with Lost Galaxy or just long-term fans. But if you want to, you can, after this is over, spin off into adaptations of others. If it's really successful, who knows, you might want to do others. I guess from a studio perspective, it's more likely they would just do more Mighty Morphin movies. But I think this could be a good way to spin off into the Lost Galaxy series or some other if you want to do it. And really that's about it. That's just a general idea what I think they could do and what I think they will do. Because I don't think they'll use Rita. I think this is the tone I want to go. I want a Bulk in Skull. I don't know. A lot of people I guess they need to understand there will be changes. They'll probably be more different than one I'm talking about. Who knows what they'll do? But I don't know. I don't think they'll do the whole Green Ranger then White Ranger. I don't think they're gonna do the whole Ninja Zord thing again. But I don't know. They could. Maybe they'll keep doing Mighty Morphin movies, and eventually they have to get the ninja thing. But it seems a bit too corny for today. That's just basically my idea. If you're going into the Mighty Morphin movie, just expect major changes. Right now we don't have a lot of news. I wish we could at least get casting, though. I mean, frankly, we'd want just talented unknowns for the Ranger roles, and then maybe get someone we've heard of more for your Ernie or Zordon. your Goldar. I'm not sure who they would get for Goldar. I mean, Goldar could look really cool in a live-action modern film. I'd like to see that. But that's just basically my ideas. I just, off the top of my head, what I thought for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reboot.